that we're not going to take off marks. I'm just going to assume you rounded correctly. Sometimes that happens. So I'm going to go yards to meters. That's what I did. And then I'm turning the meters to kilometers. So I'll go 1 kilometer, and sorry, 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. Okay, you cancel out the meters. So now I have kilometers. And now I'm going to worry about the 1 second here. I'm just going to go 1 hour has 3,600 seconds. Cancel, cancel. And so I check, I'm down to kilometers and hours. So technically should multiply the top out and the bottom separately and then divide. I strongly recommend that. And that ends up being this in kilometers per hour. Okay. So I would say if you got one of these wrong, like if you have all this work, but you somehow get a different answer, you get 1 out of 2. 1.5 out of 2. If you show me this, right? If you don't show me the steps, then I would take off more than that. So I normally, the way I mark is I go -1/2 or -1, like you'll see me taking minuses, and then I just take all the minuses away from the total, and that's how I come up with your total, okay? So that's how I go. Next, to travel 60 miles per hour, how long would it take you to travel 740 kilometers? So it's up to you how you go about this. You could change this to miles. So I'll go 740 kilometers, turn that to miles. I know that 1 mile has 1.6093 kilometers. Cancel, cancel. And you get 459.83 miles. You do not want to round here along the way. Okay, so that's how much it is in miles. And then you can use the 60 miles in 1 hour. Okay, and then you go 459.83 miles in how many hours, right? So when you have this, you cross multiply and divide, right? You cross multiply down, you divide going up. So that's 459.83 times 1 divided by 60. And so that would give you 7.6638 and so forth. So if you have this, right? So I'll give you 1 mark for converting. So you have to convert some at some point. You either convert the 60 miles or you convert the 740 kilometers. Regardless, you get a mark for that step. Then I'll give you 1 mark for figuring out how long it would take you. And then you get another mark for turning this into hours and minutes. And I didn't show you this, but I was assuming you would know that. So it's 7 hours for sure and something minutes. And it's not 0.66 minutes. I wish it would be that easy, right? It's not. So what you need to do here is you need to take, so let me just show you here real quick with this calculator. If you do this, right, and you get that, you write down the 7 hours, subtract 7 from it, right? So you have this much of an hour, right? This is an hour. So you multiply that by 60 minutes, essentially. So you subtract 7 to get rid of the whole numbers, and then multiply that by 60. You get 39.83 minutes. So that would be a whole, if I say to nearest minute, that'd be 40 minutes. So you get another mark for stating it in hours and minutes correctly. Okay. All right. Question. You got 42? Did you get a different answer here? Is that why? Okay. Okay, got it. So let's take off half a mark. So you still get half a mark. For anybody that got anything in between, you still get half a mark. Yeah. All right. So what is the total? 3 and 2, that's 5. And now 3 is 8, 9, 10. Okay, so at the top somewhere at the top, clearly Give yourselves a mark. And I know this is hard for some of you, but you're the teacher at this point. So if it's 8, 8.5, 9, if it's very close, I'm not gonna argue with you. Most of the time I agree with you. I'm not gonna take away. If I see something blatant that you missed, then I usually do something about it, but usually I hand it back exactly the way you handed it to me. Okay, so you get them all back. I usually wait till I have a bunch and I just hand them all back just before the test or something. So.